Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to the third intermission here. Got a special taping on deck. First off, it's your boy Avery here in the host chair, joined by the first queen of hockey, Marsha Joseph. Marsha, what's going on?
Hello, I am dying in a good way because it's hot, but the bad way is because mosquitoes and sandflies are eating me alive. But I'll take that over whatever weather is in Toronto right now. Yay for vacation.
Right now it's still under zero. It's still cold. There's still snow on the ground back in Toronto, so you're lucky to get out of there for a bit, Marsha.
It's all over the place. But you know what? As I said before, I'm not surprised because fake spring. Is that not
Mm-hmm.
what we were saying before?
Yup. Yup.
Exactly, exactly. But good otherwise. Good otherwise. Can't complain. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good. And tonight we got a special guest joining us, one of the coolest people right now in the hockey world. She's a graphic designer, she's a jersey designer, a reporter. She was in Italy for the Milan Olympics for Black Rosie Media. It is the one and the only Joe Dabney. Joe, how you doing today?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here, of course. I will say that I'm also having a case of like the fake spring, but I'm not complaining because the bugs aren't out yet. Maybe like a one tier up of fake spring,
I hear the both of you. And Joe, we want to have you on third intermission for quite some time. I said in the intro, you're one of the more accomplished people, one of the coolest people in hockey right now. So first things first, I got to ask you, for those who may not know, where did your journey in hockey begin? Where's that starting point for you?
I definitely say my journey started right, I want to say the summer before middle school. I was a big sports fan. I was watching all these movies as I usually do. My siblings and I weren't allowed to watch movies during the school year, so I'd like binge movies over the summer. And my dad recommended the Mighty Ducks movies, and I've been hooked ever since. And every single time I tell that, I'm like, yeah, the movies got me, not like living near a team or living near hockey rinks. It was the movies that did it for me. And I want to say the summer after the Caps won the Stanley Cup, I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to be on the internet. I need to be voicing my opinions. So I made a Twitter account, and that kind of spawned into what we know today.
That's amazing. And it's funny. It's funny how when I always hear people who say the Mighty Ducks is a jumping off point because when you see the Mighty Ducks and then watch actual hockey, no matter the actual league, you realize, wow, Disney got all this wrong.
That's how I feel all the time. I'm like, whoa, they kind of tricked me. I feel misled. I feel bamboozled. Like, whoa, something
You got
is afoot. Literally. Yeah.
Gosh, that is funny. And you mentioned right there, getting in, watching Capitals, seeing what they're doing. And of course, people who on internet, they know your work, they know what you've done where you know stuff with Black Girl Hockey Club, they know you designing the New York Rivers, the Black Rosie jersey. So I do want to ask you, Joe, what has it meant to not only get involved with Black Girl Hockey Club originally, but see a community of black women trying to ingrain themselves more in hockey more and more, and them embracing you as well?
I do think that I do want to admit, it kind of feels like a confession, but I do want to admit that when I originally did the work for Black Rosie Media and Black Girl Hockey Club and the Metropolitan Riveters, I didn't think it would be a big deal, and it didn't feel like a big deal to me because I was like, well, how many black people are into hockey? And the designs and the work being published and seeing how many people really resonated with it and felt represented truly shifted my perspective. And I'm so glad. And I don't care if it's like kind of cheesy or whatnot to admit it, but I do feel that it's kind of humbling in a way to see how many people resonate with something that they were in, of course, the hockey community, and now feel represented, even if it's like a small thing, because of course, not everyone's a Riveters fan. May they rest in peace. And not everyone is a woman, but you know, there's like these tiny little ways where they can feel represented, even if they don't intersect.
No, of course. And I look at the jersey, what you've done. It's probably one of the coolest jerseys I've ever seen done because it's really the first hockey jersey in pro sports to really embrace black culture when it comes to a jersey that was worn in a game. And we know it was in the NHL's Black History truck. It's been displayed all around the hockey world. What is it meant to see the hockey world really embrace that and say, hey, this is a jersey that we want to showcase to people literally around the world right now.
I actually think it's so funny you worded it like that because every opportunity that I've either applied for that's been brought to me, the first thing they mention is, I know your Black Rosie jersey. I saw it XYZ. And I'm like, okay, so you know this, like you've got a jumping off point. But it's so nice to see something that kind of feels bigger than me. Like if I take myself out of the equation, it still matters to like Black hockey fans or women fans or again, RIP to the Riveters, but Riveters fans. It's nice to see something that at the time when I was first a hockey fan, I felt like I didn't have a space or I felt like I didn't have a voice in the community. And it's nice to see that other people can kind of jump off of something that I made. And maybe that's a little selfish to word it that way, but I definitely do
Never.
enjoy seeing people enjoy it because I definitely was stressing out and I was definitely stressing out the team when I was making it. But yeah, I definitely feel honored and humbled to see it just displayed everywhere.
I mean, I definitely see it as like a little piece of you that will always be left behind in the hockey world, which I think is really, really cool. No matter what you kind of go on to do in your future, which there are so many things that are ahead of you. Because think about it, like the Black Rosie jersey feels like it was a million years ago. And there are so many things that you've done since then, so many things that you will do afterwards. So it's really cool that that's something that is like solidified your place in the world of hockey. So kudos. Take that. Like really, really
I try
feel
not to get emotional actually, because like
it.
that being the first and you wording it like that, I'm like, oh, now it kind of
But
makes
it's
that
true.
one being the first even more special.
We don't okay, I am very intentional about when I do things like this because I feel that when we as Black folks have accomplishments like this, we don't take praise very well. And I know I'm
Literally.
generally like this too.
Literally,
We're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that's just a thing we did.
Like no big deal. Like
Yeah,
super
it's fine.
casual. Yeah. And I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm like, well, something else might come. No need to celebrate this that big. Or, oh, someone else did it bigger. No need to like make a big deal out of this. But I definitely do get what you're saying. And like really putting into perspective, like that was the first. Like technically that was like my first actual job. Like out of high school, my parents were very serious. They were like, you're either doing a gap year or you're going straight to school. And I was like, well, fuck. I'm gonna go I'm gonna do a gap year. What do you mean? Like let's
Yeah.
like obviously, right? And then in that gap year, we had COVID, so an extended gap year and whatnot,
Yeah.
which led to meeting the lovely ladies of Black Girl Hockey Club. And then, of course, meeting so many reporters that were like, wow, this is so cool. How did you get into hockey? Because, every Black person in hockey knows every Black person in hockey.
Yeah, it's true.
Like sometimes I'll be seeing people and they're like, oh, do you know Avry? And I'm like, yes, actually I do. Or, oh, do you know Eric? And I'm like, yes. How did you know? And
Yeah.
we have a look, right? So like knowing that's like the first serious job I had, I'm like, huh, okay. Yeah, that kind of gave me the perspective shift I needed
It's
today.
cool.
I was telling Avery, I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And like, just, you did me a favor with that. I don't know how to word it, but that's what I
Good.
needed.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. Well deserved. We're giving the claps. We're giving the claps.
Yeah.
But I mean, from that, the first major job to being able to say that you flew to Italy and covered the Olympics in varying capacities with Black Rosie Media. What would you say is something cool that you would love to do next?
I think, and this is kind of a shift from a hockey perspective, I think I would really love to go back towards women's sports and design something there. Like it doesn't have to be hockey, it doesn't have to be a jersey, but I do feel like I started with women's sports. I'd like to dip my toe back in a way.
Yeah.
I never really have, and again, this is going to sound crazy, but you're going to have to hear me out. I never really have goals. I have more of like a guidelines.
Mm.
Like I
Hey,
would love for this to happen, but if it doesn't, whatever else happens instead would probably be just as cool. Which is how I feel like when a jersey or some opportunity or an event falls through, I'm like, well, that means something else cool is gonna happen. Like
yeah.
something else. So like, you know, to keep myself like from being super negative, because I also feel like as Black people, we're always expecting the worst. Like, God
Mhm.
forbid something good happen, right? So
Yeah.
whenever people ask me this, I'm like, well, let me think of the coolest thing. And then let me multiply it times 10. And then usually it in the moment when that actual event or job happens, it feels like it's multiplied times 20. This is a roundabout way of me saying any women's sports team that wants to work with me, you can hit me up. Like
Hey,
inbox is open.
the tempo. You're
You know
new,
what?
you need cool things.
Of course, of course. Like women's basketball, we saw the CBA. You know what you have
You know,
now.
I kind of like really don't like the huge CIBC logo on the tempo jersey. So
I
if
was
we could
wondering, I was wondering, like, if you were open to, like,
make it a
like we
bit
were just
small.
like slowly sliding it across the table, like, let's consider this.
You know?
Yeah. Or like not even 20 minutes before I jumped on, I saw that Connecticut was moving to Houston.
Yes.
Yes.
So like if they're open, which is really sad. Like I'm not celebrating Connecticut losing their
Just
team. However, like we were just saying, redirection.
opportunity.
Exactly,
They
exactly.
present themselves in funny
And
ways.
Houston is predominantly black, so like
Hmm.
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Look at us brainstorming.
No, exactly. So hey, if someone in W is tapping in, listening, right now, you know what? Hey, again, we got Toronto, we got Portland, we got Houston coming back into the dub.
Yeah,
Hit up Joe.
yeah.
We're just
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
right. And I gotta ask you, Joe. Of course, Marsha touched on it for a second there, going to Italy, covering Olympic Games, and you went with Black Rosie Media, with, of course, Erica Ayala, who is a wonderful, wonderful woman who's covered
Yeah.
so much in the sports world. And for anybody in sports, I think, if you're an athlete, media coach, the Olympic Games is something that you want to be a part of. You want to go there and do something there, either summer or the winter games. So when it hit you that you're going to go to Italy, and what was your first thoughts realizing that, yeah, you're going to cover Olympic Games? What was that feeling like for the first time, Joe?
I feel like I have to start by saying I did ask her directly if I could go. And I need to preface this by saying occasionally I get tarot readings on my TikTok For You page. And sometimes they speak to me,
oh
and
yeah.
sometimes I listen. So this
As
one video, it was literally 20 minutes before I had a meeting with her. Erica and we have like annual, I would say annual rolling meetings. And
mhm.
every couple of weeks we get together, we talk about logistics, designs, things we want to update. So of course, before a meeting, I'm on TikTok. My TikTok tarot video says, "Today's the day. Ask the question." It was like a 6-second video, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. So we have our meeting with Erica. She's telling me all the things she's getting prepared. Our meeting ends. I send her an email. I'm like, hey, can I go to Italy with you? She calls me, like, not even, she didn't respond to the email. She didn't send a text. She didn't do anything. She just calls. She's like, today is the deadline for the media to submit how many people can go. And I was like, what? I had no clue. I didn't know anything about like the IOC or the deadline for media. I knew nothing. I was just asking. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna submit it. Just send me your full name, copy of your passport, birthday, of course. And I was like, okay, yeah, you got it. You got it. And I did it while we were still on the phone. And then
What?
I ran to the bathroom because I was like, wait a second. I was like trying to like piece it together. I was like, like what the hell? Like, wow. And then I don't think it actually hit me until the following day when I got the IOC notification saying, be looking out for, because you have to fill out your stuff to make sure you have a valid passport, to make sure you have a valid
Mhm.
ID, that you can work overseas and whatnot.
Right.
And it was the notification saying you'd get it a week later. And I don't think it actually hit me until a week later when I was filling it out. And then I hit send and I was like, oh, and I started shaking and I was like, oh my God. And I don't know how I was supposed to feel, but I do think it's amplified by just the sheer audacity of asking. Because there was no reason. And I didn't really know what I would be doing or how I would be helping. I was just like,
Mhm.
why not ask? And it turned out pretty cool. Just her saying yes, though, like, shout out to Erica. Every single time I have an idea, any single time I have a question, she's just like, yeah, sure, why not? And I'm like, okay, yes. The kind of freedom I like to
Wow. That is the greatest example of if you want something, just ask.
Which my mom, she is 100% for it. Anytime I'm like, we should ask that waiter if we can have extra bread. We should ask that waiter if they have like special. She's like, girl, like occasionally you gotta stop. But
No,
it never fails. It's yet to fail. Yet to fail me.
I'm the biggest sayer of what's the worst they're gonna do? Say no.
Right. Like
And if they say
the
no,
worst I can
oh,
imagine is like a oh ew or something. And I'm like, oh man. Like imagine if Erica went ew. And I'd be like, okay, you got me there.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then from that I spent the entire summer. Like at first I wasn't telling anyone. I was like,
Mhm.
this feels like a trick. Like maybe let me not get too excited. I don't know how it'll happen. But then come July, and like every summer, I go back down south. I go back to Mississippi. I hang out with my great grandmother, all my family. My grandmother is going around telling every single person, even at gas stations, she's like, my granddaughter, she's going to Italy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Mind you, it's like a tiny town. Okay, like everyone knows everyone. And she's just going around. She's like, these are your last few days with her. She's going to be overseas. And she's saying it like I'm moving over there. She's like, this is such a big deal. And I'm like, okay, but you don't need to tell the gas station clerk. You don't need to tell the random people in the Walmart parking lot. She's like,
So
no, it's that serious. And I think that's when it kind of like sunk in, like, wow, I need a suitcase. I need to pack. I need to like do some
mhm.
research on the players and the teams and the coaches. And like, when you're in the space, you know things, but then it's when you're behind the scenes, it's like, wow, it's like opening up a car and seeing all the tiny parts and like how does that function and what works what, and it's I think that's when it became serious but not stressful. Like it kind of took the stress out of it, seeing how ridiculous everyone was being about just going on and on about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I still think it's pretty like shocking that she just said yes to me asking. I think about that every like couple of days, like, man, she didn't even ask like for any explanation. She was just like, yeah, okay. Hilarious.
Wow, that is cool. And before it back to Marsha, I want to ask, of course, you and Erica covered women's hockey, men's hockey, in which USA went double gold. Both games overtime, USA winning. Of course, for us Canadians, those were two games where it's like, God, come on, double gold. We lost both games. But just for yourself, what was like as American in hockey, seeing the US go double gold for the first time in program history?
I do want to start by saying, up until like overtime, I promise you I was neutral. I was so neutral. Okay. I was practicing my future dual citizenship. I was like, whatever happens, happens, right? But then something about looking around the arena
Mhm.
and like seeing, like just saying it now, I have chills, and just seeing the emotion of the family members and the fans and even the reporters. It was so overwhelming in the best way possible. And of course, the women's game was first. So we're going into overtime. The arena is dead silent. Like the music is playing, but usually the crowd would be chanting along. It was quiet. It was crazy. and no one left their seats to get any snacks or anything. I'm like, wow, okay, it's serious. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, okay, no one's joking. It's really serious, right? So then, of course, we have our overtime goal. USA is freaking out. They're throwing their stuff. Everyone's celebrating, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, I just witnessed history in person. Like I'm literally, I'm sitting. I was holding myself, and I was sitting like how I'm sitting right now, like hands on my chest, like wow, like that's surreal. People are going to be making movies about this probably. I mean, I would. You had three black women on the ice, right? Like I would make a movie. And then it's like it's so hard to word how the momentum shifts from the arena to the reporters. Like again, you're supposed to be neutral as a reporter in most cases. No one was neutral. Everyone was cheering, everyone was crying, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's kind of fair. It's the last game. It's been such a ridiculous, epic highs and lows of women's hockey, right? But it was so obvious how many people felt one way or another. And I think it also just shows like how emotional and how impactful the game can be because like that was arguably the most important, if not coolest game that anyone will likely see for the next 4 years. I mean, of course, not including the people that won't or will watch the IHF, but I don't know. It was just I don't want to keep saying ridiculous and wild, but it was so ridiculous and wild to be able to witness that in person. And up until that point, all the players, they were so gracious and kind through the post media and even for pre media, but I don't know, man. It felt surreal. I've used that word often, but it's so surreal to be able to see it in person. And 10 times more surreal because during that brief moment before overtime, I made a video of myself and I sent it to my dad. It was like, I'm on the floor shaking because I was so nervous. Like, it's that intense. And I didn't want to show my bias in the media box, of course. And then afterwards, he was like, are you alive? You haven't responded. What's happening? I was like, okay, wait, let me log in. Like it was so funny, but I think that's kind of what brought me back down to be able to finish what I was doing. But it was amazing. And I do feel really lucky being able to see how well all the teams played. And oh my gosh, it just makes me like 10 times more excited to see all the players go back to their national teams. I do want to point out that I did skip over talking about the men's games just because what men's games,
I mean,
like if it matters, I had bias and I was rooting for Slovakia, and in a perfect world, they got a medal.
Who men?
I think someone had an Etsy witch that was just more powerful than mine.
Right.
And I will be writing a strongly worded letter. Who's that letter going to? I don't know yet. But when I know, you'll know. And that's what matters.
The CEO of Etsy, actually.
No, actually. The CEO of Etsy will be hearing from me. And when I know your name, you'll be getting this letter.
So valid, so valid. Oh, also, whoever the GM of Slovakia is, because
actually,
you had one job.
Like, actually, bro, I think we need to do some research. And I think we need to lock in harder. How can we lock in harder? I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't know. I'm not a GM. Like, I'm gonna pass you. I'm gonna pass you Chell. Okay. We can play 22 to 26. We can get familiar, and then we can lock in for the next games. Okay. Like everyone knows games help you. It's proven stat.
Practice.
Like all the great drivers of the world play Mario Kart. Don't quote me on that, but like just trust me. Just trust me, bro.
Rainbow Road is the course.
Exactly. Like everyone's talking about Abu Dhabi, Montreal Grand Prix. Wrong. Rainbow Road. Coconut Mall.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. Coconut Mall. That's my girl. That's my girl.
I love her. I love her. It's my
Yeah. I do want to say though, for the men's teams, I really liked Germany. Their crowds were so fun. Like for half the times you wouldn't even know they were losing. And maybe they didn't know either. I don't know. But
it's just
they were so happy to be there. They were so fun.
I love that. I think we need more of that. in
Yeah.
hockey in general. Because I
Like
feel like everything is
let's
so like,
retire the suits.
yeah,
Yeah.
why are we so boring
Actually,
about
in both
what?
ways. Both ways. The suits and the suits.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
It's too much. Have a little fun. Smile a little. I don't know what to tell you.
I do know what to tell you. Have a little fun. Smile a little. That's exactly what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Unless
Absolutely.
you're Avery, Avery gets passed.
Yes. No, because he's rocking with us. We're cool with him. Like it's fine.
Exactly.
Like get
Exactly.
behind us, Avery. Exactly.
Oh my goodness, yo, that is funny. And Joe, one thing about Italy is that we saw you were down there covering again stories on players like Sarah Nurse, Layla Edwards, Sophie Jakes, and this is the first time ever Team USA and Team Canada played, and we had three black women on the ice at the same time in women's hockey between these two nations. And I had a chance for Hockey News to talk to Layla and do a feature on her. I talked to her and Hillary Knight, and it is just so cool to see how she is going to be for a very long time a force in the US program, Joe. And we've seen it firsthand. She can play forward, she can play on D and be dynamic in both places. And she still isn't pro yet. She's playing in Wisconsin, just won another conference title with Wisconsin. So it was like seeing those three players and seeing their impact, which is going to be long lasting in the NCAA international game and the P-Dub for years to come, Joe.
It was definitely again with this word, but it was so surreal. Of course, being black in the last Olympics, of course, we have our eyes on Sarah Nurse, but excuse me, sorry. I did have the moment. Sorry. I did have a few moments to speak with the players either ahead of their practices, ahead of their games, and then post game. And I did ask them all before they played each other, before they played with each other, and then after. And you could tell, even after the Canada loss the first time, they immediately like brightened up. Their eyes were like glimmering in a literal sense, talking about how one, how amazing each other were, each other player was, but then how impactful it was to see how many women of color, Black women specifically, would be playing against each other and on the ice, and how hopefully other little girls, not just Black and not just women of color, but other little girls would see that even if they don't fit the ideal person that plays the sport and in this community, that it would maybe inspire them to get into the sport. And I know the message wasn't for me, but I was like, oh, this like it's for me. Like this feels so special. It feels so important. And even in the press box, again, with us supposed to be unbiased, you could tell how many reporters were so happy to see Sarah Nurse, to see Layla Edwards, and to see Sophie Jakes just out there doing really, really well. I will say, and I don't know this person's name, so it's technically not like tea or anything, but there was one person that had a Sarah Nurse jersey in the press box, and I was like, man, you're living the life. Like, yeah, it's that serious. It really is that serious. Like, yeah. And I don't even know if you're allowed to ask for signatures as media. You're probably not. But I'm like, I was manifesting that he got it. I was like, yeah, you're like the number one fan. Like, she deserves to see your admiration up close. Like, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, it was so, and even the outpouring of support and admiration online after the games, and even like leading into the gold medal game, seeing how many people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Black women played hockey, or oh my gosh, I didn't know there was more than one, or oh my gosh, I didn't know they were playing each other. I'm like, yes. Like, of course, if you don't watch the PWHL, you don't watch college hockey. And I'm not saying you have to, of course, because I think the shaming tone that kind of comes with that. But being on the world's biggest hockey stage and seeing so many people for the first time tune in, and this is what they're saying, oh, cinema. Like, literally, I'm Martin Scorsese, absolute cinema. Like, oh, perfect. It was so, it felt like a fairy tale ending for them to be playing against each other. And again, this is why I was neutral. Okay, I promise you I was neutral. I was like, man, a Black person's going home with a medal, a gold medal either way. And
Yes.
then all the Black girls, all the Black women medaled. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
Black Jesus wrote that. He was like, oh, amen. I was like, yeah.
I
It
feel like
felt
there are
so
certain parts where
perfect.
like the neutrality is like,
I feel like sometimes the blackness outranks
yeah,
the
right,
media
right,
neutrality, right? Okay, okay.
exactly,
Like PEMDAS, but for black people. So black PEMDAS, like girl
yeah,
math.
exactly,
Exactly.
exactly. I believe it. I believe it.
Yes, I'll get it in the
Okay,
dictionary. I'm gonna hit up the dictionary people
just
after
be
we're done.
like, this is the hierarchy,
Yeah.
and it's law now. So that's all it
Yes.
is.
It's actually I've always known it's that easy to pass laws. I was just waiting for our call to be like, let's agree on them.
Yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
the count has agreed.
Exactly.
Okay, since both went into overtime, both games, even though one we don't like to talk about.
Mm.
Um, 3-on-3, controversial. But if you had the choice between 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or 5-on-5, oh wait, did the recording still recording?
Huh? Oh no, it's still going.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's
Ooh,
still
I thought I saw a little pop
okay.
up.
going. Oh no, it's
Okay.
still going.
If
Yeah.
you had the choice between 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or 5-on-5 for the world's biggest stage of hockey, what would you choose and why?
I don't think this is wild to say, but it needs to be 5-on-5. And I understand 3-on-3. I really do. Because this is where the conversation comes in. Well, if you wanted to win that bad, win in regulation. But like, imagine. No, we don't have to imagine. Actually, we saw it. We
Yeah.
saw it. We saw it happen like several times over the entire tournaments, over the entire two tournaments. 3-on-3 hockey feels equivalent to trying to take my left lung out with a rusty spork. And there's no other way to describe it. I would, I promise you, I would give up anything, any God would ever ask of me to never see 3-on-3 ever again. It is so stressful. And I can't help but like hold my head like this, like hands on my head, practically
Mhm.
wanting to sob because there's just so much uncovered ice. And I feel it's the point,
Right.
but it's stressful. It's so stressful. And it feels ununiform. It feels uncouth. Give me 5-for-5. I was gonna say or give me death, but knowing hockey, they might just
We
do it.
might.
Give me 5-for-5, and we could circle back. We can have future considerations. Yeah, like don't give me death. Let's rework that. 5-for-5 and future considerations. We'll come back. I do understand the 4-on-4, like people wanting to meet in the way, but that feels centrist to me. You got to pick
Mm,
one or the other. I love an even number, but like
real.
in terms of lines, feels unbalanced. In terms of teams, like the teams that did go into overtime, it would have looked ridiculous. However, I do think if they're going to add, but they don't want to be 5-on-5, I wouldn't be mad at 4-on-4.
Right.
I'm absolutely mad at 3-on-3 though, without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like we're like chickens with our heads cut off. Like we're
Like
flipping
we've lost
around.
the plot. We're
Yeah.
just introducing things for the sake of introducing them. Who asked for that? Again, with
Yeah.
another strongly worded letter, 3-on-3 founder, you will be hearing from me. I don't know who you are, but you will be hearing from me. Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest case of one mistake and you're done. Because we saw you fumble the puck at the blue
Yes.
line, you lose somebody, and you got a 2-on-1 or a breakaway or someone alone in the slot.
Hmm.
You have one bad line change, and that's your whole tournament. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like,
Like, please
can you
don't.
believe like your whole tournament just
Comes
gone?
down to one little jinky line change because you
Yeah.
didn't time it right. Oh my gosh. Don't get me
Like
started.
it's not a
Mm.
shootout, which don't even get me started on
Don't even get
that.
me started on that, actually.
But
Oh, please don't.
but it's still terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
Abolish.
So next international tournament, we're actually be on the board when they're like, "What little thing should we do for overtime?" We're gonna bring this up. They're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Let's ask them," and this is what we're gonna say because no more 3-on-3, please.
We're gonna make Times Square billboards. We're gonna have signs and
We're gonna have a
pitchforks.
whole campaign. No more 3-on-3. Okay, I'm ready with the little picket sign. I've got us. We're gonna have T-shirts too.
Yes.
Hit us up if you're ready to end 3-on-3.
Oh my goodness.
We'd have a world of people behind us.
Yeah, we probably have some of the Olympians behind us too.
Well,
They'd have to sign anonymously though. We don't
Yeah,
want to risk we don't want to risk
this is true.
anything.
and I mean, even if you're Olympian who won, you're probably saying, "Yeah, that was fun. Don't do it ever again."
Probably. They were probably like, actually, like that was stressful. Like I want to hear one of them come out and be like, yeah, that was the most stressful thing ever. I want to feel validated by their little complaints. Yeah.
Oh,
Jack Hughes, top of the list. I couldn't even get the puck anyways, so I would want to take it.
I'm gonna be like, actually, like we need to end it. That would actually be hilarious.
we said on the show before, Joe, that who didn't ask where the puck was? Anyone in a Team USA women's team, no one asked where the puck was, but the guys asked for it. Jack Hughes wanted where the puck was.
I'm really trying to understand why, and this is unrelated to their post game comments. Super. No, I'm just not going to comment on that because I feel like we all know how I feel about it. But
Mhm.
I'm trying to understand what gave them the impression that they would get the pucks from the game. Like, I don't ever remember anyone ever getting the pucks from their respective Olympic games.
It's not an
Like, I've
NHL.
literally never heard of that. That's
It's
an
the
NHL,
Olympics.
like, that's an NHL thing.
Yeah,
Even for like some of the PWHL games, some of their players didn't get like their first goal pucks. Why the heck did you get the Olympic puck, bro? Oh my gosh.
You're just a boy. You're not special. I don't know what to tell you, Jack.
Like, sorry, maybe if Layla had asked for her puck, then I would actually be there and I would be like, yeah, actually, she deserves it. But
I could
even then, I'd still be like,
advocate for
why would you get. Like, I'm trying to understand what made him believe he would have the Olympic puck.
I,
Because even in the Olympic stuff, like most of the memorabilia isn't owned by the players. Like it have their name on it, but it's not owned by them. Why would you
Yeah.
get the puck? Why would you get the puck? Not understanding.
I don't.
Go ahead, Marsha. Yeah.
I really don't know. It's just, but also like piece of circular rubber. Like take a picture, it'll last longer type vibe. Like why do you need
Like you have the
the
gold medal.
actual puck? No, literally, you won
Like,
the medal. You won the game.
and you got the plushie, okay?
You got
The
Tina.
plushie too. Like
Yeah.
now we're just being selfish. We're being selfish.
I mean, what else do you want, Jack? Do you want the deed to the rink as well too? Like,
I think
Actually,
so.
yeah. He does.
He wants
He's like, can
a
I have the
brick
key to
of
the city?
I
That would actually be that would be hilarious. He gets the ice too.
it was just so funny considering that the Hughes brothers, in their youth, lived in Toronto, probably went to the Hall of Fame. They know how this works. Like, you guys know how this works. And you're still like, oh, where's my puck? Come on.
I think what would like really seal this for me is that I have never seen Sidney Crosby ask for anything from any of his Olympic games. Right? If like the face of men's Olympic hockey has never asked for anything or even gotten anything outside of a medal, why the heck do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I put my caps bias aside. Please be on Sidney Crosby's side, okay?
This
Like-
is a lot.
Like I need to understand why you, as an American, not even as an American, why would you get the puck?
I don't know.
Maybe he did witchcraft on it and he needed it back to undo it. That's just my working theory, but that's the only thing I can think
This is
of.
why his good looks are going away. This is why no one wants him anymore.
Oh
He's
gosh.
worried that Tate's gonna leave him.
That's the side effect of poor witchcraft.
Mm,
Witchcraft 101.
I'm telling you.
You have to read the terms and conditions before you start practicing.
Terms and conditions.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Rookie move. Oh my goodness.
That is
Wow.
funny. So I do have to ask you, Joe.
Hmm.
You mentioned right there your Caps bias. How did you feel about Tom Wilson getting into a fight against France?
Okay, so I was in the press box and I did have to excuse myself to the bathroom to kind of fangirl about it. Because at first I was like, Tom, if you fight, I can't interview you post game. But then I was like, Tom, I mean, you do what you gotta do, you know?
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
defending him, of course, as a Caps fan. But as at the time, because I was reporting on Canada, so that game I wasn't neutral, I was like, what the heck, France? You ruined my chance to talk to him. You ruined it. Like, ugh. This is why Quebec is the superior French speakers. Okay, this is why. Because they ruined my chance to talk to Tom Wilson about the Caps and about being called up to Team Canada. And I jokingly was thinking about asking, like, did he feel snubbed by Four Nations? And did he feel like this made up for it? But I'll never know. I do think it was a bit hilarious in the grand scheme of things because French players and fans, they did not want, I can't think of his name at the time, but the player who fought on the team, like it was a big deal. It was like a controversy at the time. It was even on their Wikipedia page when I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, it's really that serious for you?"
They hated this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like big
yeah,
time.
they hated him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did they put him on the team?" I'm like, "Is it really like what the heck?"
It
Like
is that.
the Americans saying we hate an American player, but then we could still be like, "Well, he scores," but like, what was
Mm.
the French guy doing? Respectfully, of course. Like, I don't know,
They had a
or
spot to
even like
fill,
the
and he was the guy. I guess.
this spot cannot have been that desperate. I don't know. Would it have been bad if we had one less player? Only to then have actually one less player because then they kept him off the team for their last two
Yeah.
games.
Hmm.
So maybe they should have just left it blank. Food for thought,
Maybe they thought
France.
he changed.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
they hit him with like the NHL punishment mindset.
Uh-huh.
Like one little mistake. You know what? No punishment. You're new. We trust you. We trust you, bro.
Backfire.
Although it was funny after that fight, seeing Buddy get tossed and seeing him try to do the taunt to the crowd, like, dude, you're down 10-2. Who are you taunting? You're
Which
down
I think that's
10-2.
what made it funnier because like he was so into it, and like the crowd was basically all Canada, and they were like, "Bro, what are you
Yeah.
doing?"
Why
It,
are you
it was
here?
pretty much all Canadian fans, and they were just like not having it.
No. This
It
is
was,
so fun.
Oh my goodness. And before I send things back to Marsha, I do ask you one more from me, Joe. Again, DC. And the biggest thing now is, of course, the PWHL is going to expand. We don't know if it's going to be 2 or 4 teams. We don't know the full locations yet. I saw there was a premature report of Chicago being a team that's been walked back. So, what would it mean to have a DC franchise come into the PW if they are picked for next season?
as a fan, which is hilarious because I'm not a fan, Joe, and I do make a point of saying that is my birth name. But as a fan, it would mean everything to me. Like I mentioned, I got into hockey when I was summer before middle school, and I was basically a little girl then. I didn't know anyone in hockey. I didn't know any black people in hockey. So like having a hometown women's team, it mean everything to me. And as media, a professional in sports, I'm not sure what I would call myself. I would be knocking on every single door, being like, "Hit me up. I need to work for the team." This would be like the world's greatest customer for me personally. I do think that if it doesn't happen, this expansion, I would understand. I do agree with the people saying Calgary should have a team, California, South, even though to most people DC is or is not the South. But I don't know. DC bias. I'm ready to
Mhm.
see a pink cherry blossom jersey. It needs to happen. Or maybe just like a little less blue. Maybe just that, if anything. No hate to blue. Sometimes my eyes just hurt when I look at super blue things. Again, personal. It's just
Yeah. I mean, these pro teams love some. These pro hockey teams, they love some blue. They love a blue jersey
yeah.
in hockey.
There's
They're married to that. They really love it. Like, and no hate, because most of the time they look really good. I'm like, wow, you really found a way to reinvent 47 shades of blue. And most of the time they eat every time. But still,
it's
like
a lot.
maybe let's introduce a yellow, an
Hmm.
orange. Like there's a whole palette. Okay, the rainbow. She's wide. She's thorough. We could expand a bit. No more purple though. Every time a purple team does something in the PWHL, I am calling bias. I will be saying they're biased. Minnesota, I'm looking at you.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
have my eyes on you, girl. Yeah.
we're watching hard. But no, that would definitely be, I think DC would be really cool. I need them to hurry up and announce like where they're gonna be though, because there are so many places and so many ideas that it's just like, tell me who's gonna be right.
Which I
Tell
feel
me
like
what they
every
can do.
time someone guesses, the league is very quick to be like, actually, no, you're wrong. Which is
Hmm.
making me think that everyone is right. Because like, why are you so quick to dismiss that? Because like
Yeah.
last season when everyone was guessing Seattle, Denver, Vancouver, and Detroit, they didn't say anything. They were like, keep guessing. But this
Hmm.
time they're like, actually, you're all wrong. And they keep doing it too. They're like, actually, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's wrong. It's not that. Which makes
Yeah.
me think that some of the leaks are actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Even though I am delusional and I do believe every leak that sways in DC's favor. But again, neither here
Not
nor there.
a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
We're manifesting. I wouldn't be mad at Chicago. I wouldn't be mad, like I said, at Calgary and Detroit. But every little post I see about PWHLDC, oh, adds years to my life. However, the 3-on-3 hockey that's what was taking off the years. So this is like balancing it out.
Hmm.
Balance. We love balance.
Yes. We're restoring what once was.
Okay. I think as a nice way to wrap this up, because I am slightly hungry. Favorite food? Go.
Okay, it's kind of like a meal of random things. You're just gonna have to hear me out. It's a burrito with everything in it: chicken, pulled pork, beef, rice, cheese, the works, right?
Mm.
Guacamole, hot sauce, mumbo sauce, to DC sauce on
Mm.
top. Then we have chicken fried rice, vegetable fried rice, and a side of cherry tomatoes. Now, someone's going to say it's weird for the cherry tomatoes. It's my favorite fruit. It's a balance of acidic and it matches the texture. Okay. Like you need it. And then for dessert, we have to have caramel cheesecake, right? Strawberry sorbet and a root beer float. And this sounds like I'm eating this all the time. I promise you, I don't have health problems with food. I promise you. I am mostly healthy aside from the daily slushy. But the guy at the gas station loves me. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah,
You've got
we're
muscles on
just
you, so don't.
like it's the
You're good.
muscles from lifting the mic in Italy. I'm ripped actually. Like I look like a ripped goalie. If you put like Braden Holtby right next to me, we twin. Like
Mm.
you wouldn't be able to tell us apart.
That's an iconic combo. When I go to DC and I am
Yeah.
not stuck in the airport for 9 hours because I missed a flight and I had to go to DC to get back to Toronto and I actually
Wait,
get to the
were you at Reagan or were you at Dulles?
Dallas.
Oh, okay. Because Dulles has like in my opinion, better restaurants. But Reagan, they're a little more, they have, they're quicker, which, yeah, I can't even argue. Dallas is a little slow.
It
But
wasn't
yeah.
bad, but it was like overnight, so almost everything was closed. So it was
Mm,
sad.
what he's
But it
doing
was
with,
nice to like walk around at night and be like, what's here? Where am I going? This is interesting. It was a little cold. I don't know why they were blasting the AC so high. It was September, but it is what it is. But I shall try this combo to some
yeah,
degree.
maybe not the way I was doing it. I don't know if I would recommend it the way I was doing it. I definitely have a peculiar palate, but maybe if you do them one at a time,
Okay.
one at a time. And you know what? When you come here, we can do it one at a time. We'll do a little meal trip,
Okay.
a meal around Jones City. And we'll
Amazing.
do it like that. Avery, of course you're invited. We gotta work this palette.
Of
We'll work
course.
through my peculiar palette.
I'd be down. I've yet to go to DC, and there's only people in that market who have been telling me for a long time, you gotta come to DC, you gotta come down, come check it out.
Yes. I hope PWHL gets a team so you guys have like every reason to be down here every other game. Like, uh,
That would be sick.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll wrap up here on third intermission. Joe, it's been a blast having you on. Thank you for coming on and having this chat with myself and Marsha. It was awesome. We gotta do it again sometime.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I was a little nervous, admittedly. When we got on, we started talking. Honestly, we could go on and on. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure as always.